Welcome back to Who Died Today. Over the past few days, the world has bid farewell to some truly beloved and unforgettable stars. In today's episode, we pay heartfelt tribute to these remarkable lives and the legacies they've left behind. Before we begin, we kindly ask for a moment of support. If any of these stories have moved you or reminded you of someone special, please give this video a thumbs up to honor their memory. Thank you. Number 5. Ted Williams, the Marine, the legend, the last true hero. He swung a bat like no one else ever did, and soared through the skies when his country called. He lived to hit, he lived to serve, and in the end, he walked away, alone, refusing to wave goodbye. But today, we say it for him. Goodbye, Ted. He gave up baseball in his prime, not once, but twice, to fight for his country. He returned not just a player, but a warrior. And somehow, he still became the greatest hitter the game has ever known. Today, we remember a man whose story reads like myth. A war hero, a baseball god, a complicated soul who found greatness while carrying the weight of being human. Born in San Diego in 1918, Theodore Samuel Williams was raised in a quiet, working-class home. Baseball became his refuge, his obsession. By 20, he was the talk of Fenway Park. His swing, poetry. His goal, not just to be great, but the greatest hitter who ever lived. In 1941, he batted .406, a record that still stands. But as war broke out, Ted answered the call, not to play baseball for the troops, but to fly fighter planes in World War II. He returned to the game, picked up where he left off, and then gave it all up again to serve in Korea, flying combat missions beside a young John Glenn. Despite losing nearly 5 full seasons to war, he still hit 521 home runs, won 6 batting titles, and finished with a .344 average, the best of any hitter in the live ball era. "All I want out of life," Ted once said, "is that when I walk down the street, folks will say, 'There goes the greatest hitter who ever lived.'" And they did. They still do. But greatness came with a cost. He battled the media, clashed with fans, and refused to tip his cap. But behind the defiance was a quiet kindness. A man who visited sick children without cameras and paid their medical bills in silence. Ted Williams passed away on July 5, 2002, at 83. His final years were shadowed by heart failure and family strife. Despite his wish to be cremated, his body was cryonically preserved, his head frozen in hopes of future revival. Some called it betrayal, others hope. Perhaps it was simply love, desperate not to let go. He was the last man to hit 400, the last to fight for freedom and return to narrate like a serious news anchor, respectful and heartfelt, towering home runs. A Marine, a legend, a quiet symbol of a time when duty meant more than fame. He tipped his cap just once at the 1999 All-Star Game, and that moment echoed louder than any cheer in his career. Goodbye, Ted. The swing lives on. The man is gone, but the legend is eternal. If Ted Williams meant something to you, as a ball player, a soldier, or simply as a man, share your thoughts below. And if you believe legends like Ted should never be forgotten, like this video, subscribe, and stand with us as we remember the heroes who shaped America. Number 4. Sophia Hutchins, a light extinguished too soon. Some souls shine so brightly they seem impossible to lose. Sophia Hutchins was one of them. Entrepreneur, LGBTQ+ advocate, Caitlyn Jenner's closest companion. She wasn't just known, she was loved. Born in Bellevue, Washington, Sophia rose from a finance student at Pepperdine to the founder of Lumisol and CEO of the Caitlyn Jenner Foundation. Her mission was clear: to give voice to the voiceless. She once said, "I don't want to be remembered for being famous. I want to be remembered for showing up, for the people who thought no one would." She faced criticism with grace, fame with humility, and love with everything she had. Behind the photos and red carpets was a woman who carried the weight of change on her shoulders and never let it crush her. Her legacy now lives on through the Sophia Hutchins Initiative, providing healthcare, safety, and hope to LGBTQ+ youth. Sophia once called sunsets borrowed light. Now she is that light, glowing in every life she touched. Sophia passed away on July 2, 2025, in a devastating ATV accident near Caitlyn Jenner's Malibu home. She was just 29 years old. If she touched your life, tell us in the comments. Like this video in her honor. Subscribe to carry her light forward. Rest gently, Sophia. The sky misses your glow. Number 3. Kerry Condon's final goodbye. The voice that vanished too soon. Today, we bring news that shocked fans across the world. A woman whose voice carried the soul of superheroes, whose eyes held centuries of quiet suffering. A performer of unmatched vulnerability, Kerry Condon. This video is not just a memorial. It is a thank you, a celebration, and a love letter to one of Ireland's most remarkable daughters. If Kerry touched your heart in Better Call Saul, in The Banshees of Inisherin, or even just with her soft-spoken strength, please give this video a thumbs up to honor her legacy. She was the voice that steadied Iron Man's chaos. The sister who broke your heart with a single look. A quiet force in a loud world. And now, she's gone. Kerry Condon was born on January 9, 1983, in Tipperary, Ireland, a land of green fields and quiet resolve. She grew up surrounded by horses, raised in simplicity. Acting wasn't a family tradition. It was a whisper in her heart. A whisper that became a calling. From a young age, Kerry mailed letters to production houses, hoping someone would listen. And when they finally did, she gave them everything. Even as the world saw her rise, Kerry often spoke of fear, of uncertainty. She once said, "You think when you start getting jobs that it'll get easier, but that's the biggest lie ever." You think when you start getting jobs that it'll get easier, but that's the biggest lie ever. Behind the confidence was a woman battling the weight of expectation, someone who didn't want fame, just authenticity. 1999, Kerry's first role in Angela's Ashes, directed by Alan Parker. 2001, at just 19, she originated the role of Meriad in The Lieutenant of Inishmore. 2006 made history as the youngest actress to ever play Ophelia with the Royal Shakespeare Company. 2005 to 2007 rose to prominence as Octavia of the Julii in Rome. 2012 starred in HBO's Luck as Rosie Shanahan. 2015-2019 gained worldwide recognition voicing Frida in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. 2017 appeared in the Oscar-nominated Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. 2022, her performance in The Banshees of Inisherin earned her award nominations and universal acclaim. Every performance bled truth. Every character felt lived in. In her own words, Kerry once reflected, "I just like working with good people. I'm not interested in the mad race." She wasn't chasing stardom. She was chasing sincerity. Though Kerry rarely spoke publicly about her personal challenges, she often alluded to mental strain, anxiety, isolation, the difficulty of being a sensitive soul in a ruthless industry. She once admitted how exhausting it was to constantly worry about the next role, how it made her miss out on life itself. And then came the silence. On a quiet evening, news broke across the internet. Kerry Condon, dead at 42. No official confirmation. No family statement. Just shock, disbelief, and grief from a global community who loved her. The date, whispered across headlines, was July 4, 2025. Social media flooded with memories. A fan tweeted, "She didn't just play characters, she gave them breath. I'm devastated. R.I.P. Kerry." An unnamed co-star wrote, "She carried the weight of ancient pain in her performances. A true artist, gone too soon." Kerry Condon wasn't a superstar. She was something rarer. A soul who shaped emotion into art. Her work touched lovers of indie films, fantasy epics, and Marvel fans alike. She elevated every scene, whether with a whisper or a gaze. In a year marked by devastating losses from icons of stage and screen, Kerry's name stood among them. Another heartbreak, another goodbye. Or so we thought. Because in the end, Kerry Condon is not gone. The headlines were wrong. She is alive. Still walking among us. Still riding horses in the Irish countryside. Still crafting her next story, her next whisper, her next truth. But the world's mistake gave us a moment, a pause, to remember that we too often wait until it's too late to honor the living. Kerry never chased drama. She shunned the spotlight. If there were scandals, they belonged to others. She just wanted to act and live quietly. To Kerry, if you ever see this, thank you for the silence, for the softness, for the soul. And to you watching, if Kerry ever moved you, made you cry, or reminded you what it means to feel, leave a comment. Tell her now, before silence becomes truth. Share your favorite performance. Like this video to honor the quiet heroes. Subscribe to Who Died Today, where we remember not just the dead, but those still living among us, shaping the world with every breath. Until next time. And this was Kerry Condon. Alive, brilliant, and still whispering her truth. Number 2. Big Bill William Smith, the gentle giant who broke our hearts when he left us. The toughest man in Hollywood had the softest heart, and we lost him forever. Today, we honor the memory of William Smith, the man they called Big Bill, after a courageous battle with Alzheimer's disease. If William's strength, performances, or gentle spirit ever inspired you, please give this video a thumbs up to honor his incredible legacy. This was William Smith as Falconetti, terrifying, unforgettable, iconic. But behind those intimidating 18¼ arms lived Hollywood's most gentle giant. Born March 24, 1933 in Columbia, Missouri, William discovered acting as a child, sharing ice cream with Lon Chaney Jr. between takes. Even then, his strength was matched only by his kindness. Despite his imposing presence, William battled a childhood stutter, a vulnerability that vanished only when he stepped before the camera, finding his true voice through performance. 1943, child actor in The Song of Bernadette. 1950s, Korean War service in NSA Security Squadron. 1976, became legendary as Falconetti in Rich Man, Poor Man. 1970s-80s, dominated B-movies and television as the king of compelling villains. Throughout it all, he brought humanity to every role. William once said about his co-stars, "They don't come any better than the people I've worked with." But William, you were one of them. In his final years, this man who had conquered every physical challenge faced his greatest battle, Alzheimer's disease, which slowly stole the memories of a life extraordinarily lived. On July 5, 2021, William Smith passed away peacefully at his home in Woodland Hills, California, at age 88. His family confirmed his passing, ending a courageous fight against Alzheimer's. Co-stars remembered him as one of the finest character actors of our time. Fans wrote, "The gentlest tough guy who ever lived. Thank you for showing us real strength." William Smith proved that true strength isn't measured in muscle, it's measured in heart. He'll be remembered not just for his villains, but for the hero he was in real life. Like other greats we've lost, William's passing reminds us that legends are mortal, but their impact is eternal. The weights are silent now, but your legacy lifts us all. Rest in peace, Big Bill, the gentle giant who taught us that the strongest people are often the kindest. William lived a life free from scandal, letting his craft, not controversy, define his legacy. Share what William Smith meant to you in the comments below. Like this video to honor his memory, and subscribe to keep celebrating the legends who shaped our world. Number 1. The tragic end of Star Wars legend Admiral Piett. Best known to millions as Admiral Piett in Star Wars, Kenneth's passing marks the end of a legacy that spanned more than 6 decades. If Kenneth Colley's work ever moved you, made you think, or made you feel, please give this video a thumbs up to honor his memory and legacy. To Star Wars fans, he was Admiral Piett, the rare Imperial officer who made it to a second film. Calm under Vader's stare, Colley's performance gave humanity to a galaxy built on fantasy. Born on December 7, 1937 in Manchester, England, Kenneth grew up without drama school or elite connections. He worked his way into theater by sweeping floors and carrying props, learning by watching, listening, and doing. "The street was my drama school," he said. Offstage, he lived with a real-life stutter, one that disappeared the moment he stepped in front of a camera. Acting became more than a profession. It was his freedom. Kenneth's career spanned over 60 years, beginning in the early 1960s in Lister. He rose to prominence through a long collaboration with director Ken Russell in The Music Lovers and Listomania, later taking bold roles such as Jesus Christ in Life of Brian and Admiral Piett in The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. He played everyone from Chopin to Napoleon and even appeared in Firefox, Peaky Blinders, and War and Remembrance. From Shakespeare to sci-fi, Kenneth brought depth and humanity to every frame. In one year, he once joked, "I worked with Clint Eastwood, Gregory Peck, and David Prowse." I got a crick in my neck from always looking up toward the stars." In his final months, Kenneth lived quietly in Kent with his wife of over 60 years. After a fall and hospitalization, he contracted COVID-19, which led to pneumonia. He passed away on June 30, 2025, aged 87, peacefully and with friends at his side. Tributes poured in. Co-star Julian Glover called him one of the finest character actors of our time. A fan wrote, "Piett, Chopin, Nelson, Jesus, what range, what soul." Kenneth Colley lived without scandal, without ego. He focused on the work, and it showed. His death joins the heartbreaking losses of Julian Sands, Michael Gambon, and others whose quiet brilliance shaped generations. He once said, "They don't come any better than the people I've worked with. But Kenneth, you were one of the best." If he touched your life, tell us in the comments. Like this video to honor him. Subscribe to Remember the Legends before they fade into the stars. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Feel free to share your memories or favorite moments about these icons in the comments below. And if this tribute touched your heart, don't forget to subscribe for more emotional stories that celebrate the lives of those who will never be forgotten.